everyone, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day for Vegan November. And so for breakfast yesterday I made some toasted almond puffed brown rice cereal. I first preheated my oven to 160 degrees Celsius. I then took 1 cup of puffed brown rice and I added that to a large mixing bowl. I then mixed together 1 tablespoon of almond butter and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup until it was smooth, and then I poured that over the puffed brown rice and mixed it together well. I then tipped that out onto a lined baking tray and spread it out evenly. I placed it in the oven for around 12 minutes, but just turn it halfway through. I then removed it from the oven, left it to cool, and then I put a portion in a bowl with a few tablespoons of canned coconut milk, a small handful of goji berries, and some raw cacao nibs. This honestly makes such an amazing breakfast. It's so tasty and so versatile. You could have it on top of smoothie bowls or just with milk and fresh berries. You could make it into more of a granola by adding in nuts, seeds and oats, but it's so delicious with fruit and yogurt. This recipe makes 2 portions, so you could double it for more, but you need to keep it in an airtight container, otherwise it does go soft really quickly, which is why I only make it in small batches. But it's so quick and easy to make and only takes just over 10 minutes in the oven. For a snack mid-morning I made some chickpea tuna on cucumber. I first made the chickpea tuna in a bowl by mixing half a cup of chickpeas, 1 teaspoon of tahini, 1 teaspoon of mustard, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, a small handful of chopped fresh parsley, half a red onion, and I seasoned it with salt and black pepper. And I almost mash it together with the fork to break up some of the chickpeas. I then sliced up half a cucumber diagonally and topped the slices with the chickpea tuna. I've made this chickpea tuna before and it's great for in sandwiches, on jacket potatoes, in pasta, but I also really like it as a snack on crackers, and I thought that it would work really well on these cucumber slices, and you could even put another cucumber slice on top to make them mini chickpea tuna and cucumber sandwiches. For lunch I made a Mexican chili bowl. I first cooked up 1 cup of rinsed quinoa, although I only had half of this and saved the rest for the next day, and once that was cooked I placed that in a dish. I then took a can of Amy's Kitchen organic chili, which is made with kidney beans and tofu. It uses all organic ingredients. It's gluten free if you're gluten intolerant, and this is the medium chili heat, which has got a good kick to it, and I just heated that up in the same pan. In the meantime I put together a really quick guacamole, and I have my recipe for this in the description box below. And then once the chili was cooked I served it up with the quinoa. I only had about 2/3 of the chili, and so I saved the rest of that as well, and then I served the guacamole on top, and then I also sprinkled on some nutritional yeast for a cheesy flavour and topped it with some chopped spring onions. I don't ever really eat canned pre-made foods, but this chili is an exception because it is so delicious and there's nothing bad about it. It's packed full of goodness. They also do the most amazing range of vegan soups as well. Plus it makes a really quick and easy hassle-free meal, and you can use it for so many things. You could have this with brown rice or with nachos or even as a dinner, but it's a really filling lunch as it is too. But if you fancy a homemade chili recipe, then I will link to my vegan 3-bean chili recipe in the description box below. For an afternoon snack I just made a really simple winter trail mix, and for this I just added a small handful of pistachio nuts, a small handful of pumpkin seeds, a small handful of dried cranberries into a dish, and I also added in a handful of my toasted almond puffed brown rice cereal that I made for breakfast, which adds a really nice texture to this, and the flavours all work so well together. I love making trail mixes because you can just mix and match so many nuts, seeds, dried fruit, chocolate, do it in so many ways and come up with different combinations. It's a great quick and easy snack, and it's great for on the go as well. For dinner I made a rice noodle vegetable stir fry. I first placed 200 grams of rice noodles into a pan of boiling water, and I let them cook for 2 minutes before draining, rinsing and putting them aside. I then sliced up 1 white onion, added that to a pan with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and I fried those off until soft. I next minced in 3 cloves of garlic, added in 1 tablespoon of fresh grated ginger, half a chopped red chilli, and then I fried that off again for a few more minutes. I next sliced up 2 green peppers and 1 red pepper, 1 peeled carrot, and then I added those to the pan. I fried that off for a few more minutes before then slicing up 200 grams of mushrooms. I added those in and let them cook before adding the noodles back in. I gently mixed everything together, and then I added in a splash of tamari and a tablespoon of sesame seeds. I then served that up between 2 dishes. Then I sliced up the other half of the red chilli and 4 spring onions, then added those on top of the noodles, and I also added on some cashew nuts and fresh coriander, and that was that. I think that this is such an easy dinner to throw together, yet it's so flavourful. And you could use any noodles for this. I like using rice noodles, and I just go by the packet's instructions each time because they can say different things on how to prepare them. I also love to add in green beans, broccoli, bean sprouts to my stir fries too, but this was just a great way of using up the ingredients that I had in my fridge, so you can definitely change up the vegetables that you add to this. For dessert, I made some hot bananas in coconut milk. I first poured half a can of coconut milk into a small pan on a low heat and let it gently simmer. In that time, I sliced up 1 large banana, and then once the milk is gently bubbling away, I added in the banana slices. I just let them cook until they're warm through, but not letting them go too mushy. And then I served that up between 2 small bowls. I tend to pour the milk in first and then just let the bananas pile up on top of each other. I topped it with a teaspoon of coconut sugar over both bowls, but you could also use cinnamon. This makes the most amazing dessert. I think it's actually an Indonesian style dessert, but I know you guys will correct me if I'm wrong. I love warm bananas. I think the flavour that comes from them is amazing, but this is a very, very sweet dessert, so these servings are probably just about right. And that is it for another What I Eat in a Day for Vegan November. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, all the recipes will be written in the description box for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye!